From a 16 gigabytes web browser to a 1 terabyte all-in-one camera, workspace, and entertainment center, it's evident that Apple's iPhone has undergone many changes over the years.
Oh yes.
2023 officially marks 16 years since its release, and we're here today to provide a glance into the revolutionary history of the Apple iPhone. So let's get into it. iPhone. On June 29, 2007, Apple introduced the first-generation iPhone to the public. There wasn't an app store, let alone as many apps, extensions, and gadgets. Its 16 gigabytes of storage capacity, 128 MB of memory, and 2.0 megapixels camera were laughably inadequate compared to modern devices. However, a phone equipped with a camera was already a remarkable technological achievement back in those days. It was the first step toward creating something truly remarkable, a portable device with internet access and a screen clear enough to read. Steve Jobs called it a revolutionary and magical product that is literally 5 years ahead of any other mobile phone. And he couldn't have phrased it better.
Yes, he could.
No, he couldn't.
iPhone 3G. The iPhone 3G was named so because of its significant improvement in data transfer speed over previous versions. Thanks to 3G, being online quickly wasn't going to make people lose their heads. The iPhone 3G's internal specifications didn't significantly improve upon those of the first-generation iPhone. Still, development occurred in the form of the App Store. iPhone 3GS. The Apple iPhone 3GS introduced a new 32 gigabytes storage system. Smaller storage systems wouldn't be enough to handle the volume once the App Store completely revolutionized everything from shooting pictures and listening to music to playing with apps. In a striking development, a 3-megapixel system was added to the camera, allowing for groundbreaking motion picture capture. Also, Apple debuted voice control at this time, but Siri wasn't then in development. That would later come on the 4S model, and we'll get there very soon, so stay tuned.
Good, there's more coming.
iPhone 4. The iPhone 4 introduced the first front-facing camera. It was the actual start of an age, and selfies caught the globe by storm in an instant. The revolutionary Retina display, combined with 512 megabytes of memory, was light years ahead of the iPhone 3GS, which only had 256 megabytes capacity. iPhone 4S. The iPhone 4S was a huge step forward. It was the debut of Siri. Compared to the iPhone 4, the iPhone 4S's camera has improved dramatically, going from 5 megapixels to an astounding 8 megapixels. Another notable improvement was the addition of 64 gigabytes of storage space. However, the memory remained unchanged at 512 megabytes. The 1080p video resolution revolutionized mobile photography. iPhone 5. The camera did not change on iPhone 5. However, the memory was upgraded to 1 gigabyte. The iPhone 5 came bundled with LTE connectivity, making previous generations' 3G networks seem primitive. Apple's iconic Lightning connector also debuted in this generation in addition to a larger 4-inch screen compared to the paltry 3.5-inch on prior devices. The revolution had begun, but it still had a way to go. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this if you're interested. iPhone 5S and 5C. The iPhone 5C, with its plastic case, appealed to budget-conscious consumers, and the fact that it came in 4 different hues was undoubtedly the most appealing feature of this design. On the other hand, the iPhone 5S introduced several new features, including a dual flash, Touch ID, and slow-motion video, as well as a motion coprocessor, the M7, that significantly extended the phone's battery life. iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. Comparable to the iPhone 5S on the inside, the iPhone 6's biggest upgrade is its more prominent display. If that wasn't enough, the iPhone 6 Plus's screen was even bigger. In its place, Apple introduced HE features and a new 128 gigabyte storage plan, ditching the formerly popular Retina display. No changes were made to the amount of memory available, and the camera's resolution did not rise in megapixels. iPhone 6S and 6S Plus. Comparatively, the 6S series was a significant leap forward. The 8-megapixel camera was upgraded to a 12-megapixel one, and the 2GB memory doubled, following a viral sensation in which the phones were criticized for being overly bendable. Apple inserted 7000 series aluminum into the 6S to back it up. These models also paved the path for 3D touch functionality. iPhone SE 7 and 7 Plus. Apple released 3 phones in 2016. The iPhone SE on March 31, while the iPhone 7 premiered on September 16. The iPhone SE was not exactly popular. It was smaller and didn't have 3D touch, but else it was identical to the iPhone 6s in terms of features. The SE model was released primarily to fill the need for a more cost-effective option. Apple would, later on, reintroduce a second and even a third SE model, and we'll get there in a minute, so stay tuned.
A lot more.
The iPhone 7 series, on the other hand, brought changes to the storage capacities, from a practical 32 gigabytes to an enormous 256 gigabytes. A jet black color option was included during this production run to spice up the style. The iPhone 7 Plus's secondary camera, with its fantastic zoom, was a major selling point above previous versions. In addition, it had the improved portrait mode, which allowed users to get a shallower depth of field in their photographs. iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. The iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus introduced wireless charging to the masses. The camera's image processing and filtering features had been upgraded. For instance, it automatically reduced blue light exposure, revolutionizing display features by sharpening images. As time passed and people adapted, the wireless way of life gained traction. iPhone X. The iPhone X ushered in a new age in mobile technology, and pictures were on a whole new level here. In addition, the iPhone X featured an extra front-facing camera, which demonstrated the potential of portrait mode in all its guises. iPhone XS/XS Max and XR. The XS and XS Max were major enhancements from the previous generation. Its front-facing camera was comparable to that of the iPhone X, and the picture quality on the Super Retina HD screen was superb. However, the A12 Bionic chip was likely the most significant innovation, increasing computing power while preserving battery life. Apple introduced the iPhone XR as a cheaper alternative. The XR was similar to its predecessors, but was diminutive in size and had a less crisp display. iPhone 11, 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max. 6 vibrant colors were available for the iPhone 11's 6.1-inch Liquid Retina display. However, the model's 12 megapixels dual rear cameras with numerous wide and ultra-wide lenses were the major draw. Even though it was on the compact side, the 11 Pro boasted a premium screen. The 11 Pro's 5.8-inch Super Retina XDR screen was the sharpest and most detailed yet. In addition, it featured 3 12-megapixel high dynamic range HDR cameras, including wide-angle, ultra-wide-angle, and telephoto options. The 11 Pro Max had a 6.5-inch screen, which was identical to that of the 11 Pro. The Pro Max also shared the 11 Pro's 3-lens camera configuration and color options, with size being the primary distinction between the two devices. iPhone SE 2nd Gen, 3rd Gen. The iPhone SE 2nd Gen was a retro iPhone that took design inspiration from the earlier SE model. However, it had a powerful A13 Bionic processor, a sophisticated camera system with portrait mode and depth control, the ability to record in 4K resolution, wireless charging, a long battery life, and many other features often found in Apple's more expensive iPhone models. The 3rd Gen SE was released in 2022 and retained the same elements from the 2nd Gen, but with a few upgrades. So far, which of these iterations were your favorite? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. iPhone 12 series. The iPhone 12 mini, despite its diminutive moniker, was a formidable addition to Apple's line of smartphones. It had Apple's most recent Super Retina XDR OLED display, several improvements to the cameras, and the powerful new A14 Bionic chip that greatly improved performance over prior generations. The iPhone 12 mini was identical to the iPhone 12, except it was smaller and had 2 hours shorter battery life. Compared to the iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 mini, the iPhone 12 Pro series included significant advancements to its camera and color options. Apple upgraded the Pro versions with features like Dolby Vision and RAW pictures that could be edited up to 60 frames per second. But as the higher-end model, it had few extra features. For instance, the 6.7-inch Pro Max boasts 5x zoom and allegedly performs 87% better in low light than the iPhone 11 series. iPhone 13 series. The base model of the iPhone 13 series kept many of the design elements reintroduced in the iPhone 12 series, but the notch was 20% smaller thanks to a redesigned camera configuration. In addition to the wide and ultra-wide cameras found on the iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 mini, the iPhone 13 Pro also included a telephoto camera, making it a more attractive option. The iPhone 13 Pro had a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display with promotion and offered up to 1 terabyte model and a LiDAR scanner for use in night mode photography. As usual, the Pro Max was a larger option, but had almost the same features as the 13 Pro. iPhone 14 series. Apple discontinued the iPhone mini and returned the Plus with the iPhone 14. It featured a slightly larger display previously reserved for the Premium Pro and Pro Max models with a slew of groundbreaking features like crash detection. On the other hand, the Pro models received an unexpected improvement in the form of a dynamic island in the place of the notch, along with the new A16 Bionic processor. However, the most noticeable difference between the Pro variants and base models would be the camera, which upgraded to 48 megapixels from 12 in the previous edition. There have been 38 different iPhone models released by Apple since Steve Jobs unveiled the original iPhone in 2007. We are currently waiting for the next iteration, iPhone 15, which we'll see in September 2023. What's better? There's news that the iPhone 16 series, which will presumably debut the following year, is already in the works. In the next video, we'll give you every detail you need to know about that, so make sure you watch that.